What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again with another flashing lights update, guys. So this is basically part 2 of the lighting update. So we've got a patrol car out there with some customized lighting, but I want to show it off to you guys. I tried to do a video a little bit sooner, but this build was incredibly unstable for whatever reason when it first came out, and there was crashing. Well, there was not necessarily crashing, but there was like save errors that would basically not allow you to like get your car, like the lighting or anything wouldn't generate on it. So yeah, anyways, that seems to be fixed, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and check it out. So obviously we had all these lights. If you guys didn't see the last video I did, or the last update, they added in all these light customizations all over the car, but you couldn't really change the lights. Now, as you guys can probably already tell, because I've got a customized light on here, I've got those big rotators, and I've got the halogen 8X up there, and it's got some amber lighting and stuff, which wasn't in the previous builds. So this is what it looks like by default. And if I turn the lights on, let's turn the lights on. So this is what this looks like by default. So it's a pretty cool thing there. I really like this light, so we're going to go ahead and we'll probably just edit this one, but you can see that they added the different color variations in this. So when you go to select the light itself, you've got these 1, 2, and 3 keys, and you just go through, and there's all these different lighting pattern colors and stuff. Typically for most of these, the default presets are red and blue, all red and all blue. There is a few exceptions to this where it's a little bit different, but typically that's what you can expect. Now, you can see up here, edit selected in the upper right hand corner. Unfortunately, this doesn't save as a preset default. You have to actually export the lighting, so if you get a light pattern you want, you're going to want to export it out. Anyways, this is really cool. It gives you such a high level of control over the car. Actually, I don't want to do this exactly like this. Let's do the first light bar. This one's a little bit quicker to edit for what I want to do. So you can see that the one I had with the amber lights and stuff is all gone. So with this, where it's got these rotators, you've actually got control of the rotation speed. You can control how fast and which direction it rotates. So the higher the number, the faster it rotates. As you can see with our blue light is spinning quite quickly now. And if I bring it down to 0, it will stop, so you can actually bring it to a complete stop for rotation. By default, if you have this set up, it'll just face forwards and backwards, whereas when you're messing around with it, it'll just stop in whichever direction it's facing, so you can tell it's at a teeny bit of an angle there. If I start spinning it, or putting it down into the negatives, it spins in the opposite direction. And of course, once again, that goes up to -10. So for whatever reason, this is at 2 and the other one's at -4. I don't know why that is. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So what we want to do is I want to change these white lights to amber. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to click this. So you can see it changes the light itself. So the light that's getting reflected off in the background, the light here is amber. But the material around the light is still white, which is okay, but I don't really like the look of it too much. So we're going to go down here. Now, I already know all the numbers for these. So this is 2 and 3. So we're going to click 2. Click 3. And that looks a lot better. But I also, just to get a little bit of variation there, I don't want those rotating. So like I said, they'll show off at angles, but when I actually go into spawn this thing, these will be forwards and backwards. So we just have these 2 non-rotating amber lights all the time when we're driving now, which is pretty neat looking. I like it. So we're going to go ahead and save and exit there. So that's a little bit more basic of a light. That's one of the easier lights to edit, and you can't get super duper creative with it, but you can still have a lot of fun with it. Now, where you get to have probably the most fun with editing these lights and stuff is once you get into the use of the LED lighting. So we've got our grill lights here, so we'll just mess with these. So you can see this one opens up a number of extra things over here on the LED light sequence, which gets into these steps. So if I go into edit step, you can see there's basically 2 lights. This basically alternates back and forth here. So you can see in the first step, it's a blue light on the top there and a red light on the bottom. And then if I go to the second step, it basically inverts that. So it's a blue light on the bottom and red light on the top. And you can see the effect it has on there where it's just rotating back and forth. So what I could do is say I don't want that. Say I want something like this instead. I just want 4, I don't know why you'd want this, but if this is what I wanted, I could do just basically all of these lights flashing white. So this is something you can do, for instance. And that's a really simple one, but you can get really creative. You can have, it seems, up to 32 steps. Now, I've done like 20 plus steps on a lighting pattern and didn't have any issue. I did hear that there was some issues with higher amounts of steps causing crashing or issues of some kind, but I haven't encountered that myself. It sounds like it may have been fixed, but yeah, you can have up to 32 different steps in your light pattern. So you can get really crazy or creative with this, and you can do some different things. You can have, you know, additional lighting and stuff. So, you know, right now it's just really basic. Like I said, it's just flashing like this, and we haven't updated. So actually, if I update this now, it's going to be flash once, and it's going to be gone for a long time because it's going through all these other steps. And I could make it so it's even longer by pushing these all up to like the maximum length of time and updating it. Or I could do this so that it stays bright white for a longer period. It goes pretty quick, so like even this 30, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. It's not seconds, maybe it's milliseconds or something. I'm not really sure. It does go quite quickly though. Or you could just do a solid color too. So if I click through and hit X on all of these, it's going to take me a second because there's so many. And I update my lighting pattern again. Now it's just pure white lights, so that's pretty cool. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that, but you know, it's just like I said, something you can do. So that's pretty neat. Or you can go into the back, and you can see in the back here, for instance, I've got kind of a similar setup with this flasher here, where when I go in here, it's just a solid amber light that's on at all times. You can also see in here we've got additional lighting settings. So these are global flash settings. I'm not exactly sure how these are supposed to work. I haven't quite figured this one out fully myself. But basically this setting alters these little single LEDs or the double LEDs that you get on the bumper, the sides of the car, which I really don't have any on here, but basically all these. It doesn't affect the light bar, the traffic visor, the grille, and side runners. But pretty much all the other small LEDs all over the car would be affected by this. And so I don't really have any of them here to show off to you guys except for the grill one, which obviously it just said it's not affected. So let's throw some more lights on this guy here. So yeah, we'll just, I guess we'll throw these on here. So we got this here. And we've got some more we'll throw on each side here in the back. Okay, that should be fine. We don't need a whole lot. But if we go in, so we can go into our orange one here again. And we can actually go in and edit the global flash lighting. So it basically affects the time. And I'm not exactly sure how these work. But you can see it kind of delays it from going back and forth. So it's actually slowing down the lighting all over the car. So if you look at my blue flash here, it's going a lot slower now that I've been editing this. Now this one doesn't change because it's just a solid flash pattern. You would see this being affected if it was switching back and forth between lighting. But yeah, it significantly increases the step of the lighting. So the same thing if I throw it in reverse here and I put that down. It's just extremely rapid flashing back and forth. So that's pretty interesting. Now I don't know what the benefits of pushing Global 1 versus Global 2 are. But yeah, so it's pretty cool though. I definitely dig it. I think it's at 5 at default, so we're just gonna go ahead and put it back down to its default. And we're gonna click cancel. Oh, actually, shoot, I did want that. We're gonna shut that off. Update. Perfect. What I wanted to get rid of was these. So we're just gonna go ahead, and once I get these lights off of here, we'll head out. We'll do a few calls, see what comes up. So pretty basic cop car right now. I mean, we could go really nuts with the lights and have all sorts of different patterns and stuff that we throw up on here, and you know, do all these different unique and crazy things. So, like, you know, you can just basically go to your brain's content or whatever, to your full desires, and just go absolutely insane with this. Let's maybe change these to green lights just to be a little bit different. It's gonna be like a fan-made Ecto mobile. Fan-made Ecto 1. And then maybe amber just to be a little bit different. So, you know, kind of a completely different lighting pattern setup. Not something you would normally see, right? But that's what's cool about it. Actually, let's do this. I haven't actually tried this export pattern here, so it's going to export it into here. So we'll just do lighting, or so we'll do a side lighting test, and that'll make it a little bit easier to find for us. There it is. It's inside. It's a text file, so it's kind of tucked away with all my other stuff that I use for Twitch, like live streams and stuff, or at least I used to. Those are like all super out of date and should be deleted, but hey, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so you can see pretty neat. Definitely a different kind of light pattern here. You know, it's like the Car for Packers fans almost there on the side. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's save and exit, and it will load up. It'll take a second. And vehicle's ready, so let's go ahead. Let's press F3. Let's go on duty here, and because it's night, we'll throw on our traffic vest for higher reflectivity. Just kidding. Not much in the way of reflectivity, but it's a high-vis vest, so we'll go ahead and wear that. So there's a mugging in progress. Let's go ahead and let's respond to that. Oh. Lagged a wee bit there, unfortunately, but, you know, it happens, unfortunately, in flashing lights, I find sometimes. Just a little, I don't know if it's lag, it's load delay. Oh. Real quick before we engage in this, I'm just gonna fix my audio. It's so loud for some reason. I don't know why it's so loud. I can't hear myself talk. I don't know if you guys can even hear me talk because I can't hear myself. So we're gonna go ahead and lower this down. We're gonna keep our lights on. We're going to also turn on our spotlight here. So there's our suspect. It looks like the oh, he's gonna run. Looks like he might be drunk too. Get out of the car. Alright, we're going to tackle him into the wall there. Get out of taser just in case he tries to fight or something. He's going to cooperate. So, let's get him in cuffs first. Let's go ahead, frisk him. Get the stolen items back, any weapons he might have on him, all that stuff. So, yep, all of the above. Run a, yeah, that's, wasn't much of a surprise there. Let's get his ID. Let's grab him, throw him in the car. We'll head back and get to the person he just stole from here. At least in just a second. I just want to run his information first before we get too far. Let's see what he's got going on. So, yeah, no previous crimes or anything. That's a little surprising. But, you know, it happens. Everybody's got to commit a first, or at least get caught a first time. Well, another intoxicated person there, but we're not going to deal with them right now. We're just going to go ahead and park back here. We're going to talk to the person he just stole from. Real quick, before you go, I'm just going to get your ID and enter that into the system, so give me a second here. And searching, so she's not wanted or anything either. Looked like her license was expired, but that's fine. She's not driving or anything, so that's pretty irrelevant. So, return the items. Excellent. Okay, we can go ahead and head back to the station. We'll get this guy turned in. I love these custom light bars and stuff, though. This is so great. It's so many cool looking light bars because of this. I just love a lot of these older light bars. I was never a big fan of the LED light bars. Like, they're definitely more efficient. They're better light bars. They just don't look as good, though. You know, there's an aesthetic appeal to older light bars. You know, even these, like, rounder ones that you saw in, like, the 80s, 90s and stuff. I mean, they're nice looking light bars. You know, they're pretty interesting. They're bigger light bars. They're, you know, arguably appealing to look at. You know, with the LEDs, I just feel like you don't get that. They're usually like thin little or flat little bars and strips and stuff. I have some LED lighting for my car because I'm making the joke about an Ecto car, but I actually sort of have one, so, or at least I did. So yeah, I've got a like an LED light bar that I have, and it's just not as cool. It really isn't. Okay, so suspects in custody. We are clear on that, code 4, so we can go ahead and get on to a different thing. Not gonna worry about that one. That seemed kind of weird. I don't mind doing vehicles parked without a permit or whatever, but they can be a little bit janky, it seems. Okay, so it's probably like super far back, but that's fine. Guess we'll go to the left. What time are we at here? 17 minutes only, so yeah, we got time for a few more calls here. We got, holy cow, we're gonna pretend like we didn't see that. This car in front of us has a suspended registration, so we're gonna go ahead and initiate a stop with them here. Oh, beautiful. Perfect, they pulled right in there perfectly. We're gonna turn our traffic advisor, and we're gonna run their information real quick. So we'll run their plates, and then we'll run the name that comes back on the plates. So Jenny Long, it says it's not stolen or anything, of course. You know, I haven't seen it yet. I would like to see it. I don't think this will actually happen, but what I'd love to see is actually having like different drivers potentially in the car. So her driver's license is expired, with that being said. So her registration is suspended. She's not supposed to be driving. She's got 12 parking tickets, 1 previous arrest. So yeah, she's not going to be driving away from the stop here if this is in fact Jenny. Yeah, it would be kind of cool though if there was a little bit more variation on these like stops and stuff, like LSPDFR. Sometimes when you're walking up, they might try to like speed off at that point. So yep, it's in fact Jenny Long. So I mean, I wasn't really surprised at that once we actually pulled up. It looked like it maybe a little bit different from the back because her hair almost looked white from the back. So let's get her out of the car. Start us off. Let's have her follow me off to the side of the road. She's cooperating, so we're not going to handcuff her or anything quite yet. Once we get transport or do whatever we're going to do here, we're going to do that. So let's just bring her over here. Let's perform a quick field sobriety test. Yeah, she's not had anything to drink. We're going to frisk her. Once again, because she's been cooperative, we're not going to handcuff her quite yet. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to call a transport vehicle, and we'll just hang out with her here. Once the transport shows up, then we'll call a tow truck, just because the two of them driving around together, they get stupidly janky. So van's pulling up pretty quick here. Alright, so they got her in custody. Let's go ahead and call the tow truck here. Should have ticketed her, whatever, for the call, but that's fine. She's going into custody, so just help them along before they go. so that's gone. Oh, don't want to go in there. We want to go to scan vehicles in the front. Okay, so we can go ahead and we'll head back. Another suspended registration on this van here, so what we're going to do is we're going to... Oh gosh. That was like really bad, shouldn't have done that, but that's fine. We got through it okay. Once they get past, maybe. Well, I'm trying to pull them over. There we go, okay. I was gonna say, it's struggling to initiate the stop here. Of course, it waits until they're gonna, like, run into a bunch of cars. Naturally. Gosh. You guys can't see it right now. I'm shaking my head a lot. One, because that truck obviously just completely spazzing out, hitting the car. But also because I just had a YouTube subscriber subscribe. So whoever just subscribed right now, you probably have no idea who you are by the time this video comes out. But I do appreciate your subscription. I need to figure out how to disable that notification, because unfortunately it runs even when I'm just doing standard recording. Valid driver's license, no arrest, not wanted or anything, so it's just the suspended registration on the vehicle. Shouldn't be letting her drive. I might possibly let her get away from this, but we'll see what's up. So... yeah, not been drinking at all. Yeah, she's not having any previous issues. I want to just let her off with a warning, let her go. And we'll just continue on our patrol here. Do want to see what's up with this truck, though. Quick scan. Insurance expired. Well, they're not going anywhere. Might not be able to actually follow through on the stop here. They're pretty bugged out right now. This is what kind of the issue I was running into on the multiplayer game that I initially wanted to do, is like they're just like driving like straight off, and she's just gonna clip through that and keep driving. Oh no, she actually bounced off. Interesting. Try and get her forward to see if we can't fix the AI, and it's just gonna keep doing that. Okay, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I don't know if it's trying to make up for all the time it couldn't drive or what, but they're not stopping. It doesn't say they're fleeing either, so I don't quite know what the AI is doing. Alright, we got an armed robbery. Let's get to that. I got an idea where it's going to be, yeah. It's pretty close to where I thought. A little bit different, though. A little bit of a load-in spike there. Okay, so we got these suspects. They have a weapon trained on us. I'm a little bit worried about popping up here to try and deal with them. Alright, he seems to be disarmed now. We're going to tase him. Got the other suspect behind us, so we need to get this guy into cuffs and stuff immediately here. Fortunately, we don't have a backup that we can grab. I'm just gonna... I can't frisk him right now, so we're just gonna throw him back into the back of my cruiser. The other guy seems to be kind of trying to fire us from the building, but I don't think he can do too much. Oh, wait, no, shoot, he's out now, too. Looks like he might have, might waste all of his ammunition as well, so we're gonna go ahead and try him with the taser. A little too far away, though. So we're just gonna go for the tackle here. Got our live firearm, just in case he pulls something. So, I mean, you can get him to cooperate by just pointing the live firearm at him, but, yeah. So, with the other guy in the car, we gotta get back and deal with him, get his weapon confiscated and everything, because we didn't confiscate. He's probably not gonna be able to do too much with it, because he is handcuffed, but you can't be too safe on that. So we're gonna run this guy back. And do a quick alcohol test on him. Okay. So, with him in the back of the car, we still can frisk him, thankfully. So we're going to just do that. We're going to run our blood alcohol content test here. Make sure that's okay. Angelo Cooper, huh? Okay. We'll just drive the suspect back since he's already in our shop here. But I do want to run his information real quick before we take him back. I just want to see what he's got going on here. Oh, interesting. It didn't pull it up there, though. Oh. So on previous arrest, he's not wanted or anything, just did something stupid in the past, though, obviously. Stupid enough to get arrested, at least. Turn off our spotlight, we do have that on still. So yeah, we'll just, we'll drive him back to the station, drop him off, and yeah, we're about 30 minutes, so we'll probably call it a video here, maybe, I think, unless something else comes up of interest. Oh gosh, stupid lag spikes, man, they kill me so much. Alright, well, our suspect is in custody. The other one was taken in by the transport van, so we should be all good to go. Alright, cool. Didn't take any shots during that. Let's go ahead, vehicle parked without permit. Yeah, nothing too exciting there. Put our shotgun back here. Alright guys, so yeah, that was the new lighting update. I hope you guys enjoyed this one too. I definitely have really dug what they've done with the lighting over these past couple updates. To be honest, and I've said this before, at least on my previous video, and I've probably mentioned it a couple of times, I'm really actually surprised by how much I've enjoyed these updates. I mean, it seems like it would be such a small thing, and compared to some of the gameplay and stuff that they've added, the lights should be some of the less exciting stuff, but you know, I guess it's one of those things. I mean, not just with these cop cars like you guys are seeing here, but you know, with fire trucks and ambulances and stuff. I mean, the actual apparatus or shops or whatever you want to call them. You know, they're such a big thing as their liveries and their lighting and stuff, and such a big part of the aesthetic. And you know, being a fan of like these first responder content and the actual vehicles and stuff, and just it all kind of comes together. So I think this does a really good job of that. It gives you a lot of freedom for control. Of course, having, you know, even further lighting freedom might be okay, but I think this is pretty good because this, you know, obviously is something people can do in multiplayer too, so you don't want to go too nuts with it either. I mean, people are going to be probably doing some pretty crazy stuff in some multiplayer lobbies with this, I would imagine. It'd be kind of neat. I don't know if the option exists. I don't think it does, but to turn off the lighting too, I guess, if you want to have something like that. I wouldn't do that, but it would be probably nice just to have the option for it if you're you know, looking for a public game, but you don't necessarily want Christmas tree cop cars flying around. I mean, we got a bunch more calls coming in, but like I said, we're not going to do those, unfortunately. So, once again, guys, I do appreciate you stopping by to watch the video. Anybody who has, as always, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.